and the people that you do business with, and we will all get to benefit from the training. So my name is Grace Moroki. I am a basic business accounting skills trainer. My desire is to see us align our accounting structures in our businesses so that we are able to run our businesses from an understanding of what we are doing, that we don't want to get to mix everything up. So you can gain the skills on your own. You can also consult with me so that I offer you the part-time consultation services on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, or you can also just run and get to understand how the accounting structures are done. You're able to control your own cash flow. You're able to control the money that gets in and out of your business. You're able to manage the sales. You're able to understand whether you have made a profit in a certain tenor. You're able to understand whether what you are doing is really business or you're just busy running something that is not bringing anything back into the pocket. Because the aim of doing business is making profit by the end of the day, as much as we transition the community, as much as we grow, as much as we make an impact, the end game, by the end of the day, we want to have something being returned into our pocket and we get to benefit from it. So today I'll be doing a training that is more of a talk. I want to be presenting in a presentation and I want us to discuss about the New Year resolutions. I'm seated and I'm thinking how many people, we are in November 2023 and the year is just coming to an end. And I don't know what resolutions you had when the year was starting, and I don't know how far you have made the move, what has happened, whether you are still uh, in the process of achieving your resolutions, or you left them way back in January, or by February you were done with everything, or you got stranded and or maybe you got fear, or even some challenges with finances. Many things happen that come to hinder us from achieving the goals we make by the end of the year. So we just want to discuss, because again, life is a cycle. And by that, it means that December again is here. We are already in the mid-November. So we will still have to make New Year resolutions for the year 2024. But again, do we have to make the same mistakes that we made in the year 2023 that have seen us not achieve the goals we had? Will we still maintain the mistakes that we have made so far, or will we align and make the right decisions? I'm just trying to think about the people who made a resolution that I'm just going to start a business, and I'm going, for example, especially those who are who have been in employment for a long time. Most of them usually have resignation letters which have been typed and kept in the computers or the laptops or somewhere just in an envelope. And every day they tell themselves that by the end of this month, I'm going to hand over this resignation letter. And then it never happens, because again, the year is here and you still haven't resigned. But is it a matter of resigning, or do you have a goal, a structure you have set forward? Because again, if you resign just like that, how are you going to survive in this economy that we are in? Because everything has the prices have set up, the cost of living has gone up. So are you just going to resign without a pre-plan of where you are going, or are you just going to resign without even knowing what is going to happen to you? For those people who have families, what is going to happen to your children? For those of us who are paying bills, how are you going to pay your house rent? Do you have enough savings? The advisors say if you're going to resign from a job and you still don't have running business that can take you that can pay your bills, you need to have savings of up to 1 year that, or 6 months to 1 year that you can survive on, or you will need to have a plan of where you will be getting your cash flows, because again, we don't want you to resign and then you become a beggar. And that is one of the things that make people write the resignation letters, and they keep them in the computers and never submit them, because again they're asking themselves, I live hand to mouth, so if I give in this resignation letter, what am I going to use to pay my bills for January, for February, and such things? And it's a good it's also some good fear in it, but you need to plan, because you won't be employed forever. And if you have business ideas that you can implement, I have talked about a different decoding that I was talking about starting a business from afresh. And you need to come up with a strategy of how you can register your business while you're still working, of how you can source for the initial like equipment if it's a business that you require some equipment. And even in service industry, like for me, I'm in training, but you can't just resign and go start training when you don't have even the devices that you need for your training, even if it's a laptop, a workstation, some simple 2 3 things here. So there's nothing. The other day I was saying, as much as we say there are businesses you can start with zero capital, it's not zero capital in terms of money, because capital, we need to stop discussing capital like capital is just in monetary form. Yeah, capital involves a lot of things. It may involve that computer, it may involve that workstation or an office where you'll go. Even if you want to resell items that you're told you can go and pick them somewhere in credit terms, you will need to have those networks and to understand who is that person who is going to be willing to give you some goods on credit, and then maybe you pay by the end of the day. So it's not zero capital per se. It might be zero capital in terms of monetary form, but it might require other forms of capital before you start. So you need to think about it, so that if you are going to brace yourself to step out, you can align some 2 3 things here and there. Personally, when I was starting a business, by the time I was resigning from my 8 to 5 job, I had already bought my printers. I had bought, of course, my own good laptop that I can use, or because the training service industry requires you also to be mobile. So I didn't buy the computer that you fix, the it's called what? The desktop one. So you need to understand the nature of business that you want to do, and understand what is that thing I can buy prior, what is that thing I can invest in prior, before I even issue that resignation letter. So your fear is right, but you don't need to sit there just sitting on the fear. You need to start doing something. So for those people who have been saying, I'll start a business in the new year, you were even starting the business when 2023 was starting, and here we are in November, you still haven't started. It's never too late to still sit down and ask yourself, which business do you want to do? One of the mistakes people do is going around asking people, which business do you think is thriving at this point in the market? Unfortunately, you forget that you're not called to do what everyone else is doing. You need to seek your purpose. You need to understand what is your niche. You need to understand what you're made for. You can't do everything. And even if, like, for example, for those people who are in the hotel industry, even if we are told if you're not someone with a passion of cooking and such things, or even in the cakes industry, if you don't have a passion for baking cakes and everything, and you're told that the business that is thriving like in at such a point as this one is in the industry, because people are crossing and they are doing the head year parties and everything, it still won't help you, because if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. So stop going aloud asking everyone. You can find out those people who are in the area that you're interested in relation to business, and then you can go to them and now ask them, how do you do yours? Then out of it, you will not end up doing everything that they do, but you might find yourself getting a link of what is meant for you or what is the right thing for you to do. So number one, I'll say you need to reevaluate what you wanted to do maybe when the year 2023 was starting, but you didn't get to do it. You need to sit down and ask yourself, why was I not able to do that? What happened? What are the things that affected me, so that they don't reoccur again in 2024. They don't also affect you again, because if you don't give them attention, they are still allowed. They have not left you. They have not gone anywhere. So they will still come and affect you. You need to sit down and ask yourself, what happened and how can I deal with it? Then you need to replan, so that if it's finances that you had not saved, you need to give yourself a timeline. Like, I need to save, have some savings, even if it's in a duration of 6 months, 3 months, 1 year, because you can still continue working, as I said before, but now with an understanding of, I'm working to save so that I can acquire the things I need. I can have enough savings to buy the stock I need for the kind of business I want to start. And I can, yeah, you just work now with an understand. Don't just go working. If you're in a if you are employed, that is from 8 to 5, just because people are going to work. Work with a plan in mind, so that you'll have the zeal that is driving you on a daily basis. Then you need to refocus every day. See yourself as a business person. If you want to venture into business, there are those people who they usually say they will start businesses, but when some challenges come, even as little as, I don't know what, as a small challenge comes into business, and they are like, hey, let me just go back to employment, or let me just go and forget about this thing. You need to see yourself as a business person on a daily basis. Even if you're still working somewhere, even if you're still employed, you need to change your mindset and you see yourself as a business person. There is no way you're going to run a business when you have never embraced yourself and seen yourself being able to run one. You see, it all starts in the mind, so that you can also now have the ability to sit down, evaluate, what do business people do, what do they require, what kind of a business can I do, what am I good at, what can work for me. And then you sit down and now plan, what do I require, how can I acquire it, what duration will it take me to acquire all those things. And then you'll be able to move somewhere, and then you set the right goals. After you have focused, you have reevaluated, you have planned, set the right goals. Say, I'm going to go get a job. If you don't have a job, I'm going to get a job, and then I work in that job for the next 3 years or 2 years or 4 years. If you're already in business, you also need to do all these things. Ask yourself, why didn't my business do well this year? What happened? Then replan. How can I do it better? You see, what are the things that I need to do so that I can make it profitable? And also, as I was saying in the morning, is it a profitable business? You see, there are some businesses which have gone way too far in the opposite direction, that you even just need to close it down and start afresh. So sit down and ask yourself, what happened? Is it promising? Am I promising? Am I able to come back, to bring it back to a point where it's making profit? Do I have the resources? Do I have the energy? Do I have the ability to do it? What expenses do I need to cut? What are the costs that are affected by business in 2023, so that I also don't transfer the same problem to 2024? So it comes in the two way. Whether you're in business, whether you're employed and you want to start thinking of how you can start a business, whether you still haven't even gotten employed, but you are focused, you desire that you one day learn your own business. It starts from somewhere. And I usually say employment is a good place to start. For those who are employed and for those who are looking for jobs, it's a very good place to start. But you start it with a plan, with a goal, with a strategy. Don't just do it. And for those who have already engaged in business, sit down, learn how to run a good business, learn how to manage your finances, gain the skills so that you also cut on some cost. I usually say part of what I do, I train on basic business skills, like things like doing your own returns, doing your own financial reports, because it's not a hard thing. It's very simple when you learn it, so that you don't keep engaging as an outsider who will come and if I come to your business on a monthly basis, I'll charge you, that's for sure. But you can also just pay the cost of running, and then you gain the skill that will help you for a very long duration until your business grows to a point where you can't be able to focus on those things. Then, even when you earn those skills, you're able to just use them for as long as you want. Even if your business grows to a point where you have an accountant who is internally in the company, you still have to make your own decisions without involving them, because by the end of the day, you are the founder, you are the entrepreneur. You need to do some personal investment and even business investments here and there. So it's good you gain skills on your own, and it's going to help you a long way in these times when taxation is it's a big deal to people. You need to understand what you need to do with the changes in the taxation laws and everything that is happening in the Kenyan government. You need to gain those skills so that you got hold of your business and you know what you are focusing on. So it's a good way to end the year, even as we still have some a month and some days remaining, but it's a good point to sit down, evaluate, refocus, replan, set our goals for 2024. It's not too early. There are those people who have already set their goals and they are already into 2024. So psychological, physically they are in 2023, but they already moved to 2024. While some of us, we are still waiting to say Happy New Year, and then you sit down and ask yourself about this year. That is the difference when it comes to uh, those people who are investors and everything, because they see beyond. They see beyond. For those people who will be making the sales and the offers in January when kids are going back to school, they have already sat or they are already sitting to source for those goods in bulk, or they have already even bought them, so that by the time January comes, they will have them in bulk and they are able to give you the offers, for example, in supermarkets and everything. Those people who sell things like school uniforms. They are already very busy knitting all those uniforms. So for them, as you are looking forward to go for a holiday or to go for the December break and the Christmas and everything, they are busy increasing their stock so that they can come and sell to you. So what are you doing yourself that is going to bring a change to what you'll be doing in 2024? So that's it for today. I just wanted us to share that so that we are able to move in the right direction, so that you are not left behind. And I hope this is going to help you make the right decision. So